Welcome to another video. I'm John, your guide through the job hunting process. Now, a little bit of a follow-up from my video yesterday on my experiment applying for a number of jobs. So just a quick update on that. I applied for a number more, so I think I'm up to 25 positions right now. None of them were as bad as a couple of the ones I applied for yesterday, but it's equally frustrating. But the results are, of 20 positions I applied for, I did receive 2 responses. One was an invitation to an interview, and the second was confirmation of receipt of my resume. So 2 out of 20, not too bad, but a complete lack of response from the others, not even an acknowledgement that they'd received my resume. And this is really what I want to talk about today. It's one of the biggest complaints I hear, or laments I hear from candidates applying for jobs and clients I work with, is that they're tired of not getting any responses, or should they make contact with a recruiter, they're frustrated by all of a sudden a lack of communication, essentially being ghosted by the recruiter, and they're not quite sure why. So I just want to kind of put this into context just a little bit and start by saying it's not you. This is absolutely not you. But there's a number of reasons why. Firstly, going back to the resume, if your resume is not fully targeted to the job posting, if it's not addressing the key requirements, chances are your resume is not getting through the ATS system and having a recruiter finally read it. So it might just be dying in the water at that very point. Unfortunately, a lot of these ATS systems are not even sending confirmation of receipt of a resume or sending a thank you. You basically sending your resume in, clicking apply, and not hearing anything else again. Recruiters receive potentially hundreds of resumes for any position they're hiring for. Now, the majority of these will not make it through the ATS, so they'll never see them. Depending on the position they're applying for, they're recruiting for, that number could increase or decrease. But chances are they're dealing with a lot of resumes to read once those resumes have made it through the ATS. I will say that unfortunately, recruiters are notoriously bad about getting back to candidates. Even sending a quick email saying, hey, Mary, Tim, I've received your resume, thank you, I'm reviewing it, and we'll get back to you shortly. They're brutal in their lack of communication with candidates. One of the things I insisted on fully when I was running a staffing agency and we were recruiting for clients was that we did acknowledge the applicants. But for the most part, across the industry, corporate agency recruiters are terrible at responding to candidates. If a recruiter you have been speaking to suddenly ghosts you, stops responding to your messages, send them a quick email saying, listen, I haven't heard from you in a while, I'm just curious as to the status of my application. If you don't hear back from them, this talks to their professionalism as a recruiter and has absolutely no bearing on your candidacy or who you are as a person or your resume. It's fully on the recruiter. But I think what I'm trying to say here is set the expectation that chances are, unless you're shortlisted for an interview, chances are you may not hear back from a recruiter. For those reasons I highlighted just now, the number of resumes they're receiving, the number of resumes that are being blocked by the ATS, or simply because of the lack of professionalism on the part of the recruiter. So keep at it. It's not you. There's a number of reasons why you're not getting a response. Keep at it. Make sure that your resume is fully aligned to the position you're applying for. Ensure that the key requirements are reflected in your resume, that you're addressing the key asks in the job posting. Eventually, you will make it through the ATS and you will get that phone call. Best of luck, and thanks for watching. And again, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel. It motivates me to keep creating more content, helps me with the algorithm, and hopefully these videos will get to the right person at the right time. So thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next video.